angel babies. Angel A, also known as Angel the Healer. And I'm your spiritual mentor, writer, as well as your energy healer. And on this channel, we talk about holistic healing, mind, body, and spirit. We also talk about the complete dismantling of all oppressive systems, including but not limited to religious systems as well as the patriarchal system. And if that's something you're interested in, please hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I post the next video. Go ahead, subscribe, and leave a comment because I do respond to all my comments. Let's grow this small channel and get that information out. The whores and this and that. Women, we operate that is religious. Is how Black women are treated today and has. And I kind of want it covered. I need to keep the Sabbath and I need to do all. So before we get into this video, just a couple quick announcements. I know you guys noticed this headset. I got this piece just because I noticed in my last video that it was my sound sounded really low and muffled. Now it could just be the devices because of the devices I'm using, or that's just how I can hear it. That's just how it sounds over on my end on my device. But I wanted to just try this out to see. It had a built-in mic, so I'm just trying to see if it'll do better. But if there's anybody who's watching this video, if you guys have any advice on how I can make my sound better, please comment and let me know what I could do. Also, if you are into editing videos and you want to be a part of my team editing my my YouTube videos, please get with me and we can work something out because I would love an editor. But until then, we got to work what we got and the knowledge that I have, the minimum knowledge I have about editing and all this kind of stuff, sound and light and all that. But hopefully my content will prevail until we can get it to where it's just great and easy and beautiful. But hopefully my content will prevail, like I said. So let's just in shadow work, I took a couple days off of the 30 days of shadow work, but I will post that. I'm going to create another video this evening and I'll try to get that up tonight or tomorrow morning. um we are a little bit behind, so we got to catch up. So we're on the second week of shadow work, so I'm just go ahead and compile, maybe like I did last time, 4 or 5 days in one video. So but that's why I wanted to do this video, because it kind of goes into the whole concept of shadow work and shadow selves and stuff like that. So today's video is going to pretty much be about demonic influences, uh demon stuff, the devil, Satan, or whoever you want to call him, Satan, the devil, the concept of him, or the idea of him, and God and Jesus, and just spirits and demons type stuff. Because a lot of people have the concept that spirituality is wicked and evil. And to that, I say, first and foremost, if you are still demonizing spirituality and you are still demonizing or fearful of spiritual practices because you think it is evil, you just don't know enough about spirituality and spiritual practices yet. That's all that is to it. And fear keeps us shackled. Fear keeps us hidden away from reality. It keeps us away from understanding things. Fear really does a lot of damage. It separates us from a lot. And once you understand that we are all interconnected, all this stuff is connected to us, we are connected to it, and there's really nothing to fear. Things will make a lot of sense to you. And then I have to go ahead and say again, like I've said before, you have to understand the Bible is all esoteric. It is a language, is all esoteric. And I'm going to do a video exactly getting really deep on how the Bible was really created and where it came from. But just know that it's all esoteric stuff. You can't pass that up. You can't deny it. It's just esoteric. So, and it's all symbolic, and so you have to understand that. So please watch the video in its entirety before you just write me off like I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about. Just watch the video and try to at least try to understand, get an understanding. A lot of religious folks like to just if something doesn't sound like something that they're used to hearing, they just, oh my goodness, you're crazy, you're a devil worshiper, and they just like to cut it all out. When we do know that Christianity and just religion altogether is the where the concept of Satan and the devil stem from. And really not even the beginning, because the earlier Christians and the earlier biblical people, the Israelites or what have you, did not have this conversation, did not have this understanding of Satan. They did not have this idea of Satan that we have today. So I find it crazy that even people want to say that the serpent in the beginning of the Bible that Eve talked to concerning the forbidden fruit uh, is Satan, when the concept of Satan did not even exist yet. So these people, you cannot assume that they were talking about Satan. That's why they didn't say his name. They didn't say Satan, because Satan wasn't even a thing yet. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's just get straight into it. So who is Satan? So we're going to be talking about three characters. I'm going to start this off by talking about Satan, God, and Jesus. Who are these characters? And I say characters because they're characters. They are characters. They are here to symbolically represent something. What are they here to represent? Let's start with the devil. The devil is the devil is the shadow side of self. The devil is your shadow side. The devil is your dark side that you try to now suppress. The devil is the side of you that you do not want to show to others, that you try to suppress because you think it's bad. In the story, how the Bible goes, the devil was a musician. He was creative. He was flawless. He was beautiful. He was a musician. I don't know what he played, but he was a musician. He was the leader of the choir. One day, everything was going peachy keen in heaven until one day he decided that he did not no longer want to hear from God. He did not want to listen to God, and he wanted to go off and do his own thing. That is the depiction of us when we have our own mind, when we wake up to decide that we want to do something that we want to do. You can see it in children. When children want to do something, they don't care what you say. They don't care what you say. They're going to find a way to do it. That's the same as the devil. And I said that the devil is very creative because it takes a level of creativity to think about something that has not been thought about. Because up until this point, everybody was worshiping God. Nobody knew to not worship God. He thought about something that had not have been thought about, and he took action on it. Very creative. And honestly, if you want to dig in deeper, you can actually attribute the devil's characteristics to that of female characteristics of the feminine energy, and not in a bad way, not in the religious way where religious folks like to put women down because women, you guys were the ones that partook of the fruit first and blase blase. No, not in that way, but the characteristics. Because if you could see uh in terms of energy in your chakra system, just look at your third eye. Your third eye chakra, which is right here, your third eye is for intuition, is for creativity. One of the biggest things is creativity. Okay. When you think about that, when you think about your third eye chakra and you think about how creative it is, you also have to look at one of the other attributes of the third eye chakra is it's a feminine attribute. It's a feminine thing. Females are their attribute, one of their attributes is creativity, or women, I should say. But a feminine energy attribute is creativity. So when you look at the devil's depiction is dark, but he's also very creative. And looking then too at the symbol, the yin and yang, which represent balances, which is what all of this that I'm talking about or getting ready to talk about this video is all about balance. When you look at the yin and yang, the yin is for women. It's the feminine. I'm not going to say for women, because feminine and masculine is not the same as saying man and women. So let's just get that out. because in spirituality we understand that we have both attributes. We have women attributes, we have masculine feminine attributes, masculine attributes in both men and women alike. But anyways, in the yin and yang, you see yin is for the dark energy, but it's also female. Yang is for the light, or yin, or however you say it, is for the light energy, but it's also male, masculine. So the dark energy has always been associated to the female energy, but not because it's bad, because again, in spirituality, nothing is bad, nothing's good nor bad, it just is. Because you'll see in a minute, you need both for life. You need both to flourish. You need both equally. Nothing's good, nothing's bad, it just is. So when you look at the devil, he's this darker energy, but he's also this feminine energy, which is probably why, which, yeah, more than likely is why they associated him with the woman first. He spoke to the woman. He didn't even speak to the man. He went to the woman. He was more connected to the woman. You know, the woman was the one that ate up the fruit and defied, was the first defiant one, and then she made her husband subsequently defy too, but she was the first defiant one. And you see, those attributes in the devil. He was the first defiant one in heaven, and he's also the darker energy. He's also the creative energy, and it takes a lot of intuition to do that. The devil decides to listen to his own mind. He doesn't listen to this all powerful, all creator, this one that destroyed him and had the potential to mess his whole life up. No, he didn't listen to that. He listened to his own mind, his own intuition, and he did what he wanted to do. And he must have had a lot of power because he took 1/3 of the angels with him. Okay, so the devil is that part of you that's defiant. It's that part of you that's hard-headed, so to speak. It's that part of you that does whatsoever you please. It's that part of you that gets up and goes fearlessly and brave. And so a part of that is the ego. A little bit of the ego is in that, but you need a little bit of the ego to create balance. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here for. We're here to have that balance. We're here to create balance. That's one of the laws of the universe, is balance. So you have the devil side. God, on the other hand, is the light part of you. God is the part of you that wants to do the right thing, the virtuous part of you that wants to be perfect, the one that wants to be upright and virtuous and righteous, the one that wants to do. That's the part of you that gets up and goes and does what you need to do throughout your day. That's the part of you that makes sure you get up and you take a shower, you brush your teeth, and you get up and you put gas in your car, you put your seatbelt on, and you just do what you need to do. Okay? But that's also the part of you where your power comes from, where your understanding of the divine, where your understanding that there's something you're greater than what's seen in this physical plane. It's when you awaken your God side of you, is your God consciousness that awakens you to something powerful, to something greater. People are looking on the outside of them, but it's really in the inside of them. It's inside of you. It's not on the outside. It's not this man that you're praying to the heaven. It's already in you. And when you awaken to it, you're awakening to your God consciousness. You're you're putting back those attributes that's already in you. You're awakening to it. It's coming out of you and flowing into you because you're awakening to that energy, that God energy. And that's all that the God is. That's all that the symbol of God in the Bible is, that God side of you. So that you have this war between the dark side of you and the good side of you. That's why there's this war with the devil and God. It's this war. It's this war that's waging and always going on. But when you can learn to remember your God, your divine, your divinity, your God consciousness, your light, your divine light, the source from where everything came from. When you can remember you're a part of that source, that God consciousness, and at the same time accept your shadow side, your oppression, the shadow side that you're oppressing, the side that you want to suppress and oppress, that side, when you can remember that side all at the same time, when you can finally bring the two ends of the spectrum together within you, you become an enlightened being. You become Christ. You become Christ. The Christ, the Christ consciousness. That's why you hear these new age people, these new age gurus, whatever, talk about Christ consciousness. That's what it is. Christ is not this man that is coming back to save you. You are Christ. When he says you follow me, that means he's not coming back. He's saying follow me. That means follow after his likeness, his image, what he did. You do. He said that we will be able to do greater things than he did. By following him, by understanding what he understood with the archetype. He's not real, but it's his archetype. We have to understand that archetype. We have to follow that archetype. Jesus is literally the embodiment of the flesh of us, the flesh, okay? The flesh is representing the suppressed side of us. That's why they say it's your sin nature. Humans, we're sinful at nature. We're sinful by birth. We're sinful when we first start this life. We're born into sin. So it's symbolic of our human self, our nature, our natural nature. That's the flesh. That's the dark side of you, so to speak. The wickedness, but it's not really wicked. It's not evil, but it's the dark side of you. The symbolic nature of that is the flesh. Him being equal to God and being the Son of God is the symbolic representation of him being equal to divinity. That's why he was God in human form. So in him dwelt the fullness of God, just like in us dwells the fullness of God as well. Because we're both. So he just woke up to that knowledge. That's all Jesus is. Jesus woke up to the knowledge of him being God, the consciousness of God in human form. So the humanness is his imperfections, is his suppressed side, is his shadow side that he tries to suppress. That's the humanness. The divinity is the natural part that is already him. That was him already first. And when he understood and he remembered that side of him and remembered and acknowledged the darker side to him, and it came together and he brought both sides to him together, it created balance within himself, and it formed something else. So the devil here, God here, it came together, it formed Christ. And that's what happens with us when we accept these archetypes, when we accept our God consciousness and we accept our flaws in our dark shadow side. It comes together and it creates balance within us. So it creates balance within us. And once we have that balance, we're now living in harmony. That's heaven. Heaven is not this place that we go to. Heaven is already within us. We have heaven living within us. Heaven is just a balanced life. It's a consciousness where everybody on every plane of existence, because there's more existence than just this earth. Do you really think out of all the cosmos and the universe and all this, we're just this wee little bitty planet right here, that we're just the only existence that matters? No, there's lots of different worlds in existence and things like that. So when everybody on all resistance, or every being on all type of existence and on all type of realities and all of that, which is all yourself, we're all connected. But that's something way ahead, way out. You have to understand it to understand it. But when it all of us collectively wakes up and understand this balance within ourselves and remember this God consciousness that we are, and accept this shadow side of us, then we become awakened beings. Then everybody collectively, our vibration will rise, our consciousness will rise, and heaven will be on earth. There will be no crazy stuff like you see murders and killing of children. Like, I strongly believe that it can start even right away just by doing shadow work. I believe that when people start to embrace their shadow sides, their not so good qualities of themselves, they don't have to suppress it no more. They can actually live in more freedom. That's why you get these pastors and churches that me was a member of the church and a pastor for 20 something years, haul off and go shoot his wife and his children and stuff like that, because he's trying so hard to be this perfect embodiment, and he's suppressing the shadow sides of him, the normal parts of his existence. He's trying to suppress that part of him until it just overflows and bursts and become way worse and unmanageable. I'm not saying go out and kill people, but if you're having these tendencies, you need to understand them, bring them to the forefront, and understand what's going on with them. And if this wasn't such a fearful world and people was afraid of being their raw, real, true, authentic self, maybe people would be comfortable with expressing these feelings that they have so that they can get help for it. So when you think about God and the devil, you think about it, you're just looking at two extreme sides of yourself. And Jesus is somebody, and Christ is somebody that is meeting these sides in the middle. Is you meeting yourself in the middle. It's you bringing these sides together so that you can understand the fullness of yourself. And there's layers, there's pillars to this. It can go deeper, but at the very basic level, that's what it is. At the very basic level, that's what it is. That's what the understanding is. So then you go on to, well, what is demons and demonic dark spirits out there? Well, they're nothing more than just like the devil is your suppressed side of you. The demons and all that stuff that people talk about, that religious folks talk about, and demon and demonic attacks and stuff like that, is nothing more than yourself attacking yourself. I wrote an article about this. I have it on Medium. I'm going to probably leave it down somewhere in the links down below. But there's two articles I wrote. I wrote one of the articles is something like the esoteric meaning or concept behind the devil, Satan, God, and the Garden of Eden. And it talks about, the duality, the laws of duality and balance and stuff like that, and the archetype, the devil and God and stuff. And then I have another article that is called The Truth About Demonic Forces and Evil entities in spirituality, or something like that. And I go into this and I talk about how the demonic forces is nothing but yourself attacking yourself. See, when you try to suppress something long enough, it will eventually come back up. You can't, because you can't hide it. Can't hide it. And it'll eventually come back to the surface. And when it does, you can swallow something and swallow something and swallow something. It's going to fill your belly up. And eventually your belly's going to explode. And all that stuff that you swallowed is going to come back to the surface. And that's what demonic, quote unquote, attacks are. And these demons that people think that they're seeing is nothing but the embodiment, the physical manifestation of severely suppressed energy. That's all it is. Severely suppressed energy. Everything's energy. Everything's energy. When you understand energy and how energy works, you will not fear nothing, because you'll see that you're made from the same substances as those things. It's just vibrating on a different frequency. That's why it's important to keep your vibrations high and your energy's positive and good and closest to the light, so that you won't be subjected to those darker energies. But they're not bad, they're not evil, they're not all this googly stuff. They just are. They are what they are. They are what they are. Now, you'll be a fool to ignore the fact that there are darker energies. There are darker energies in the world. There are darker, but to call them evil is horrible. There's energies out there that's great, that'll blow your mind. That's something that you don't have no idea. You can't begin to understand and fathom. But just because you don't understand them does not make them evil. Just because they do things in a different way and they have a different pattern of thought and a pattern of vibration does not make them evil. And demonic spirits is nothing more than your shadow self attacking you, letting you know, hey, There's something that you need to fix. No different than when you're depressed. When you're depressed or anxious about something, that's because there's something that needs to come out. There's something your body, your spirit, your mind is letting you know that there's something there that you need to deal with. But when you don't deal with it and you keep suppressing it, you keep suppressing it, you keep suppressing it, eventually it'll manifest itself because it's trying to get you to understand. Because energy cannot be destroyed. So you cannot destroy that energy. By suppressing it, you think you're going to destroy that energy, but you're not. You might have a trauma that happened to you 10 years ago. And you think that by ignoring it, it goes away. It don't go away. It will just come out in different forms. So now it's coming out because you're not seeing it. So it's gonna get in your face and make you see it. Now you're getting scratched up in the middle of the night, and dark shadows and creepy figures is laying on your bed looking at you with red eyes, and you think it's a demon attacking your house, attacking you in your house, and really it's your suppressed trauma that you've suppressed it for so long, showing you itself. It needs to scare you because it has to get you to see it so that you can deal with it. Now, that being said, there are ghosts. I believe that there are ghosts. And what my personal belief on ghosts, and that's embodiments of people who were once here. I believe that, okay, there's 3 layers to us. Of course, there's your physical body, which goes in the ground when you die. And then there's your soul, which follows you. Your soul doesn't die. Your soul is you. That is you. So and I believe in reincarnation. There's ample proof to justify reincarnation. So I believe when you reincarnate, you come back to this earth or wherever you go. Your soul, the reason why you don't remember your last lifetime, because those memories, unless you bring it up via the Akayic or Shaik records or whatever, or however, meditation, hypnosis, whatever. But like, you can't just bring it up by yourself just naturally, because I believe that those memories are trapped in your spirit. I believe your spirit is nothing more than just the embodiment of the energies that you had when you were in a specific lifetime. So say, like, for me, I don't like fajitas. I love the color black. I like my gangster rap music, whatever. I love grape soda. Okay, so all these things, it makes up my character. But it's not on a soul level. But in my physical body, these things make up my character. Well, when I die, when I leave this body, my soul is what's going to leave. My body's going to be thrown here to the earth. My soul is what's going to leave, but my spirit is going to be those things that I hated or I liked, I felt strongly, passionate about, whatever, what have you. It's going to be those things. It's going to be the fact that I love the color black. I like gangster rap music. I hate fajitas. All that is what makes my spirit, I believe. And I believe that that's because energy does not die. Energy just transmutes, mutes, and transforms and stuff. I believe, sorry about that. Yeah, I believe that energy is just, because it doesn't die. I just believe that energy is still stuck, you know, in its form, in its spirit form, as if it was still a part of me until it goes back into the universe. But in those cases, ask it to leave, ask it what it wants, or if your vibration isn't high enough, that's why, like I said, it's important to keep your vibration high. But if it is not high enough, then you can, and you can't deal with it, get a spiritual healer to come out and see what's going on with it, what it wants, what it needs. A medium, a psychic, somebody that can talk to it and see and ask it to leave. Um, Otherwise, you yourself can sage, get your area clean of energies, and keep your vibration high. Drink your water, eat your fruit, keep your own vibration high, and that should stop that.